Hey everybody, this is a review for Moana. I have to say, it's probably the worst movie that Disney has ever made. And um, I was disappointed by the plot. I gotta say, the one redeeming moment about the movie was the ending. I liked how the movie ended. And I liked how the villain is overcome. Let's just leave it at that. I thought it was very creative the way they did it. And Maui, the god of the god of the indigenous group. I don't know what the name of the group is, but the god of the indigenous is like Luster. It didn't add much comedic relief, even though that was the intended one of the intended roles of his persona. He was this very masculine god, and he did not he wasn't that solid a character. He didn't really get fleshed out that well. Part of me though kind of understands Disney and Pixar. I don't even know if it's Pixar, but I understand them because I know that how difficult it can be to be a movie. I've seen some of the animated guidelines that are out there, and I can tell that they're really rigorous and meticulous, and it's all about, creating that. How to captivate the viewer is one of the things that I've noticed that animators really work hard to do. And I could see all these little formulas that they employ, but it fell short. It didn't meet they might have set high expectations for themselves, but it did not deliver because the movie was pretty boring for most of the movie. I was kind of like groggy and like wondering, when is this movie gonna end? And yeah, that's the sad reality of it. When is this movie gonna end? And I hope that the criticism and viewer reviews and people on YouTube will reflect that, so that Disney will take note that they had to make a better movie. Because this is the second movie in a row that I watched by Disney that wasn't that good. Zootopia was pretty bad. I'm debating as to which one was worse, Zootopia or Moana. Moana was poorly developed. It took too long to get everything going, and Zootopia was just a very narrowly created, narrowly inspired movie. It didn't have much inspiration. Yeah. And yeah, that's what I thought about that movie. But to end on a positive note, the ending was really good. So yeah, keep that in mind when watching the movie, that the ending was worth it. I thought the ending was good. There was a lot of music, so it's kind of like a musical. The movie was really like a musical because there was a shitload of music. A shitload of singing. And I was just like, whack. I don't know. I just like, everything is so bliss with Disneyland. And I was just like, with Disney and Pixar, everything is bliss. Everything's so good. And I'm just like, that's not true. I mean, life can be that way, but it's kind of like just over commercialized movies where it's just like the process of making a movie is just very commercialized and very, you know, very, it's like it sets the the pleasure sense, just it's all about pleasure and something about learning. It has no depth to it. And like the whole time they're just singing, and it's just like, why the fuck are they singing? There's no point to their singing. It's not teaching me anything except that, oh, look at me, I'm singing. And I'm just like, oh shit, what the fuck? And this is the second movie by Dwayne Johnson, because Dwayne Johnson plays Maui, the god, the semi-god, the demigod. And he made the movie with Kevin Hart about some heist. And this is the second movie I watched by him that sucked. And I can't get it, not all your movies are going to be good. And sometimes the movies that you think are going to completely flop, sometimes the movies that you think are going to flop, don't flop. They become massive commercial successes. So the formula is not always correct. So hey, maybe this movie could have been that movie where they did exactly everything according to the formula that they have as animators to make a good movie. And like I've read like Hayao Miyazaki's Starting Point. It's a book about about a bunch of interviews on him and just a bunch of his ideas spread out on paper. And he talks about animation, and so the movie was really well animated. Everything was, in a sense, I know this sounds a little funky, but it was realistic, in the sense that there's nothing in the movie. There's no like sloppy animation, so it's all realistic. The villains in the movie, in the beginning they're like chipmunks or they're like little guys. I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah, that's what I think. Moana, don't watch it. That was why, because it was a generic, boring movie. Except the ending. The ending is on one redeeming quality. So yeah, that's my review. Thanks for watching.